TIBCO SPOTFIRE. It's one of the best data visualization tool available in the market. As you know, a lot of people, a lot of organizations are looking for TIBCO SPOTFIRE resources. And basically the truth is the organizations and our industry is not able to get good resources on TIBCO SPOTFIRE. So TIBCO Spotfire basically is a data visualization tool. It helps us to visualize the data, to get the answers, to get the insights from the data, what all is hiding in the data. And so why do we need these kind of technology? First of all, let's understand this. So as you know, day by day data, the volume of data is increasing. And you know, a few years back, we were just working on few hundreds of records, 100,000s of records. Then we have few million records. Nowadays we are talking about big data. Big data, as you told, this is big data is nothing but a volume of data which your resources, your infrastructure cannot handle at a time. My machine is 4 GB, 8 GB, and I might have huge volume of data more than that. So it's all big data for me. It can be structured, unstructured. Again, it is not up to my expectations. I have to do lot of work on that. So lot of manipulations, calculations, massaging, data massaging, and all that will be done. So we have to deal this much of data, and you know, data can be hiding lot of things. If I give you millions or billions of records, if I ask you that okay, tell me how much sales I'm doing, what is not doing good, so it will be really tough to tell you what all is happening. But actually, if you put this data into one of the best data visualization tools like Spot or any other technology, it will be very easy for us to understand that what all is happening. So that is what the purpose of using these technologies, to help my business understand the things, what all is happening in the data, what data is telling, what all the threats, what all the opportunities, what all is all the trends, patterns available in the data. That is all we have to work on. So as Spotfire is a data visualization tool. So what is the meaning of this? Information at the speed of thought. It's not what the user is looking for. Instantly they will get it from the visualizations, the kind of available options, what we are going to create, reports, dashboards, all that. So Spotfire is an analytic product from TIBCO. Basically, if I tell you about Spotfire was a usual company in Massachusetts, USA, and way back in 2007, TIBCO acquired this. So it was a separate company, a usual company, but in 2007, TIBCO acquired this, and since then it is called as TIBCO Spotfire. So TIBCO is basically into middleware technologies, but Spotfire is their analytical product. So what gives the Spotfire, how it is moving so fast, and what is the USP of this? So all that is areas of dashboard, what we call them. So that is self-service BI. Self-service BI means it helps to see the data very easily. Even the non-technical person can work on Spotfire and get their things. So that's the reason we call it self-service BI. So we have to do all that ourselves. So earlier, you might have seen that there were the big dependencies on IT teams and all that. So the business have to completely depend on those people. We are those people only. But it was earlier, it was very dependent things. But now, actually, even if the business user who is not a technical person wants to do it by himself, then he can have Spotfire and he can visualize the data by himself. But for advanced things, again, he needs an expert, people like us who can work on different requirements and get his insights. Then is big data analytics. Big data analytics means we can connect to big data resources, big data sources, which will load any amount of data into Spotfire and will help us to see the trends and patterns based on that. I must remind you, like, there is no limitation of data to be loaded in Spotfire. Virtually, you can load any amount of data in Spotfire, but only thing, to load any amount of data, you must have that kind of resources. Resources means your server must be that capacity, like that they should be having that much of capacity. It's not like your server is 10 GB or 20 GB and you're trying to load 50 GB of data. Obviously, it won't work that way. So if your server is 500 GB, you can always load 500 GB data. If your server is 1000 GB, 2000 GB, which is not like normally the case, but just giving an example, then you can load that amount of data also. So, but you can load, there is no limitation on Spotfire, like that. People normally ask, what is the amount of data we can load in Spotfire? So there is no limitation. Then is the dashboarding. Dashboarding is nothing but like a way of doing the data, like storytelling away. So we will have a cover page and different kind of like sales analysis. Based on that, you will have another page. So the way you are presenting the information, it's a kind of a story way, telling way. So that your user can easily understand. It will be very easy to understand. So that is what we call it like dashboarding. Drill down visualizations. So drill down visualizations means like it helps us to see the data to a lower level. So what we call it drill down. Drill down is something but applying filters. Applying filters, let's say I want to see data for Asia, under Asia, India, under India I want to see for, let's say, New Delhi. So what all is happening under New Delhi? So this is the way like I want to drill down the data. I want to see the data for, let's say, North America, and North America, say Georgia, Atlanta. Like this, I am moving from region to state, state to city. So like this, I can drill down the data to any level. So next thing, and the same way we have drill down visualization. So from one visualization to another visualization, we can drill down the data. So if I select something in one visualization, the relevant data will be shown in the next visualization and so on. So this is called drill down visualization, using which you can drill down the data to a lower level and get your insights. Next thing what we have is like data access from multiple sources. Data access from multiple sources means like it can load the data from any kind of source available in the market normally. So what happens here, sometimes people ask like what all data sources we can connect to Spotfire. So the answer is like basically you can connect to any kind of data sources, be it spreadsheet to text files to SQL Server, Oracle, Teradata, MongoDB, and what else like IBM, like SAP, and big data, web services, JSON, all that. So there is a big list of data sources which can connect to Spotfire. So this is the reason why Spotfire is so widely accepted. So what happens here, like, see, if I give you some technology and if I ask you, no, you can't use this, you can't use that with this, you can't do that, that will be a limitation for you. Obviously, you won't like it. You might be using SQL Server, but so if I ask you that you must be using SQL Server in your organization, and if I ask you, no, you can't use SQL Server, it works only with Oracle. So what it means that you have to spend money in like in Spotfire purchasing, and then you have to like separately purchase the Oracle, let's say. So it means what you already have, that is of no use. So, but here it's not the case. Any kind of database, whatever you're using, Spotfire is like available to connect to that. Then we have geo mapping. Nowadays you might have seen that there's a traction going on like to show the data on the geographical maps. So a lot of people are asking about the mapping capabilities and all. And some years back, like a few years back, like TIBCO acquired a Mapperama. Mapperama was a mapping company. So I heard somewhere, like I read article, they are trying to integrate the Mapperama capabilities in like Spotfire. So which is giving it mapping capabilities to a higher extent. So you can just bring up a lot of things like using different kind of layers. We call it WMS layers, Web Map Services layer, TLS, Tile Map Services. So these are the different things which they are trying to build like into Spotfire, and using which you can just show your data on a very like a wonderful way. Then we have mobile BI. So mobile BI, like nowadays everyone wants to see the data into mobile devices. Whenever you step out of your office, you have just mobile devices. You don't want to open the laptop, or you don't have the laptops. You have a meeting with a client. You are out in the market, in the industry. You're discussing something with client. Instantly, like you can show him the trend. You can show him a dashboard or a report, which is built in Spotfire using your iPads or your iPhones. Okay, so this is what like business is looking for. So not only they can see the reports in desktop on laptops, they can do the reporting and dashboarding. They can see the reports and dashboards basically on the mobile devices. So that's what we normally like to do. So you don't have, if we are sitting with some client, I don't have to open my laptop and start using this. I can do this thing using my mobile or my iPads. So these are the like a few points like which is very like important for Spotfire, what all the Spotfire can do for us. So now the thing is what Spotfire can do for us. So what we are going to get from Spotfire. So here it's a, like as I told you, it's an analytical product from TIBCO. So it's an in-memory data analytical tool. In-memory means when you load the data into Spotfire, it completely gets loaded into Spotfire memory engine. Let's say you are loading a data from SQL Server. SQL Server means like it's a database. Okay, it is having a lot of tables. So let's say there is a table like called employee, and in that table there are 1 million records. So when you do a connection with SQL Server database, when you load the data into Spotfire, it means the 1 million records are completely loaded into Spotfire, so which is called as in-memory analysis. So now what happens, the Spotfire processing, calculations, aggregations, what all you are performing, all that will be very fast. So that is called in-memory analysis. There is another term called in-database analysis. So that we will discuss in the sections. That is a different thing. But there are two different things like which are normally used: in-memory analysis and in-database analysis. So analyze and explore data with intuitive and interactive visualizations. Quickly identify trends and patterns in your critical business data, which is like about the Spotfire. That is what we are doing for the business. Our business wants to take decisions much faster than before, and this is possible with the help of like quickly identifying the trends and patterns in the data. So you never know what all is available in the data. It can be threats to your business. It can be opportunities to your business. You want to start some business in some area, some region. There might be a lot of scope of that product, of that kind of products there. Okay, so you can launch it. But if like already like let's say there is a big competition and all that is happening, and you launch your product, so it will be very tough to sustain there. So these all things, how can we understand? We can understand all these things using this data. So it's the speed and flexibility is quite good, and so it helps us to easy to access. Access means like accessing the data from any source, then analyze it, and then create dynamic reports. And using the filters, you can filter the data instantly and get your answers like at that very moment. Like as soon as you apply the filters, the findings, the results will be in front of you at that very moment. It won't even take few seconds also. Instantly it will get, in fraction of seconds you will get the results. And it's also a business discovery platform. It's a platform like it's not a specific like it can be used only in sales, it can be used only in finance. It's not like that. It is being used in every domain, be it sales, finance, marketing, HR, oil and gas, power sector, energy, life sciences, banking, everywhere it is being used. It's not like any domain specific or platform specific kind of tool or technology like that. It is being used everywhere. So the platform on which we are going to work, that is called as professional client or Spotfire analyst. So it's just a new name. And platform where the end user accesses the reports, that is called web player. So we call it TIBCO SPOTFIRE web player. So here you can see that it connects to a wide range of data sources, including Oracle, SQL. So there are a few examples only. And after that, like you can just share it using like a PDF, PowerPoint, Excel, and HTML, etc. So this is a way of like converting your like report dashboard. Let's say you want to send some, send some kind of like analysis to someone else, to your colleagues. Then you can convert it to PDF, to the like a PowerPoint. You have a quick meeting. You can present that information. You can convert the visualizations and all into PowerPoint, and you can show it there. So it's a flexibility what Spotfire is providing you to share and export your analysis. So this was just about few points about Spotfire. Then we have components. Components means like what all we are going to deal with. So what all we have in the real environments when we're going to work on projects, Spotfire projects, what all we may have. These are few things which are mentioned here, but you may or may not interact with all of them. First thing is Spotfire database. So Spotfire database is the database which Spotfire uses for its own consumption. Okay, and there you have only two choices, either SQL Server or Oracle. You don't have any third choice. But actually, like, don't get confused, because sometime back only, like I told you, that Spotfire can connect to any kind of data sources, databases. But here I am saying that you have for Spotfire database, you have only two choices, SQL Server or Oracle. So both are different things. This is the database which Spotfire needs for its own existence. Okay, it's a database which it needs for its own consumption, where all the user group, metadata of Spotfire, what all is happening will be stored. But you can get the data into Spotfire to do data analysis, to create reported dashboards from any kind of database. So this is one thing you should be clear, that Spotfire database and the databases from where we are loading the data into Spotfire, both are different things. Then we have a Spotfire server. Spotfire server is an application server machine, Tomcat based application server, which controls everything, where we have all the reports, dashboards, meets our environment for Spotfire. Then we have web server, so another web server machine. So we need to have two different servers. So one is application server, one is web server. So if you are using version 7.5 and above, then you will see this node manager. You will not see web server. So this is being replaced by a new term or new product called node manager. Okay, these are using this, you can create multiple nodes. And earlier what used to happen, few things were controlled by Spotfire server, few were controlled by web server. But now from 7.5 and above, everything is controlled by Spotfire server only. Then we have Spotfire analyst. So analyst is the software on which we are going to work, on which we create reports and dashboards. It is also called as professional client. So you can call it anyway. That is called TIBCO Spotfire analyst software. So on which we are going to create reports and dashboards for our end users. And we have consumer. A consumer is a platform or a web player. It's the same thing. It's a platform, web-based platform, using which my users will interact with the report. The way you are accessing Facebook. Okay. So Facebook for us, it's a web-based application. We have to just enter the URL and we are logged into that. Same way for web player, there will be a URL, web URL. The users have to enter that, click on that, and they will be accessing the data reports and dashboards. Then we have multiple add-ons. into Spotfire environment. Then we have automation services, which is used to automate some tasks in Spotfire, like sending emails, migration, all that like stuff is there. And then statistical services is there. It's a thing like which helps Spotfire to integrate with statistical capabilities. Here you can integrate Spotfire with the help of integrate Spotfire with R programming, S+, SAS, MATLAB, so that you can bring up statistical capabilities into Spotfire. So it's there with the statistical capabilities with Spotfire from its starting. Okay, it's not like 1 or 2 years like other technologies. They are trying to integrate these things nowadays, but with Spotfire this is with from its starting. Then we have advanced data services, which is again an add-on. So this is used to integrate or to connect to third-party data connectors. Like say if you want to connect to web services, big data technologies and all, then you need to have advanced data services. We call it ADS, Spotfire ADS. Then we have business author. So business author is not a product; it's a kind of permission given to the users, so they can just edit or modify the reports in the web browser itself. They don't need like a software to be installed. So this is just a permission. Then we have Spotfire Desktop, which is the free trial version which you are downloading. So it's a cloud desktop, cloud-based application which you can download on your machine also. So if you go to Spotfire website, there you have to just give your username, password, means like create an account, and then you can download a trial version which is for 30 days. So that is called Spotfire Cloud Desktop, Cloud Analyst. So here one thing is there that for accessing the reports and dashboards, my user does not need any software. So to access the reports and dashboards, I must have just an internet connection and a browser. Browser can be Internet Explorer, Chrome, Mozilla, Safari, any of these. So what I need to do, I need to just open a browser. I might be getting the links and emails. Like when we send the emails to the users, business users, we normally attach the hyperlinks or links there. So if I am aware of the link, then I will just enter the link here. Or if I have to just click on the message, the email, in that there will be a link attached, I have to just click on that link. So this way I'll be navigating to the web player software. So that is called, users will not interact with web servers and all that. They will just interact with the front-end applications which are web player. And then we have the architecture, how the Spotfire architecture is looking up here. As I told you, there are two different servers. One is Spotfire server, one is WebPlay server. And then we have, both are in sync with each other at all the time. Remember this thing. So both are with synchronization with each other all the time. And then we have on the top, you can see that web player, enterprise player. This is for end users. Enterprise player and professional, both are the development mode. So both are development mode. Then why we have the separate thing? Separately, it's just a kind of permission given to the developers. Let's say if someone is newly joining my team and I'm not confident on him that he can work a lot on that, I'll give him some limited access. That is called enterprise player access. He can do a lot of things, but with a limited. But few things will not be available for him. But if someone is quite expert and all, then I'll give him professional access. That is complete access. Miner was the old tool which was used to mine the data, clean the data, which is obsolete now, not used. Then we have S+, statistical programming languages, which can integrate using statistics services. Statistics service we have. Then we have automation services, application services. You can integrate it with third-party company products also. As of now, it's integrated with TIBCO product only. Then at the back end, we are connected to databases, RDBS, spreadsheets, flat files, XMLs, web services, JSON, to any kind of databases, composite views, RDBS, Teradata, SAS, all that it can be integrated with Spotfire. So basically, if someone asks you that what is the Spotfire environment architecture, and the answer should be like this, like there is like two servers basically. So one is application server, which is Spotfire server, one is web server, which is WebPlace server. Both are in sync with each other at all the time, okay? And using the Spotfire analyst or professional, we create a connection to server, okay? So we log into the server using this. So we log into the Spotfire analyst or professional, which connects to the server so that we can get all the functionalities into Spotfire professional. One thing, if the server is down, then you can work on Spotfire but with limited functionalities, because a lot of things are there which needs the server like access. And at the back end you can see that Spotfire database is there. Using the LDAP connections, we do the authentication and user directories. You know, like this is all like what we have: LDAP servers, user directories, active directories, which is being used in the real-time environments. Using the JDBC and ODBC connections, we can connect to any kind of data sources. And here is my web player. My end user will come up here. He will enter the URL using HTTPS, okay, and in the browser, and he will access all the reports and dashboards what we have in our library. So this is one thing like about architecture. I will take the questions on architecture now. If you have any questions, you can just ask anything here. Any questions? Thing like where we get to know about how Spotfire report is created and how it is published. So how the user comes and access the reports and dashboard. So here you can see that. Here you can see that like we have Spotfire developers, so the dashboard will be created. Then it will be published to the web player. So we have to publish or deploy it to the web player. We call it, you might have heard a term of deployment or publishing. So we call it published. So Spotfire is published into the web player or deployed in the web player. At the back end, lot of things happens like the dashboard security, who can access it, what, and all that is available. And basically it's into the Spotfire server. So all the reports, dashboards, what all you are creating and saving, that is getting saved in a repository called Spotfire library. So there is a repository which is called the Spotfire library, where you can create multiple folders, subfolders and all that. It's a folder structure kind of library. So it resides in the Spotfire server. So what all you are doing, what all you are saving, everything getting saved in Spotfire server. Now, how can you connect to Spotfire server? You cannot directly connect. So my WebPlace server is used here. So my WebPlace server is, because it is synced with each other, which Spotfire server. So all the things can be accessed using WebPlace server. Now to connect to web server, I need a browser, a URL, so that I can connect to my web server. So using which I can also see the folder structure and all that, reports and dashboards. And now based on my permissions, my access, authorization and authentication, I will see only those folders to which I have access. It's a normal thing like you might have seen always. So my end user will come up here. He will enter the URL, give his credentials. Based on his authentication authorization, he will see the required folders and required reports or dashboards. He will do his analysis, and then if everything goes right, it will be moved to the new environment, next environment for release. If some feedback and enhancements are required, the same feedback will be provided to the developer, and then again the report or dashboard will be republished and enhanced. So this is a workflow that we have to follow. Keep that in my mind, keep that in your mind, that how the how the things work here. So as a developer, you will be working on Spotfire Analyst. The software name is Spotfire Analyst. You will create reports and dashboards. You will save that into Spotfire library, which is nothing where like it's there in the Spotfire server. Your work is done. Now you will send the link Whenever you save a report or dashboard, a URL is generated. A unique URL is generated for every report and dashboard. So that URL you will send it using emails to the users, to your super users or business users, and then using that browser link, they will just click on that link. It will open it in browser, and using that they will access the web player. So web player in turn is accessing the web server, which in turn is accessing the server library. So this happens all that all this happens at the back end. Excuse me. Then we have the roles and descriptions. So the first role is we have a Spotfire analyst. Spotfire analyst is nothing but it's a business analyst guy, project lead, project managers, who are the medium between the client team and the project team, getting the requirements, what all need to be done, SOWs and all that stuff, high level things. Then we have Spotfire authors or developers. Spotfire authors or developers means the people like us who are creating reports and dashboards, development all the time. So our job is to get the requirements, what all business wants to see, what kind of reports they want to have, they want to see, create, and based on the required information, we will connect to data sources, multiple data sources, and based on the requirements, we will create reports and dashboards. Then we have Spotfire administrators. So Spotfire administrators nothing but like the people who are controlling the environment, installation and configuration of Spotfire environment, migration of code from one environment to another environment, upgrading, hot fixes, patches, okay, access management, providing access to the users, to developers, everything. So these are the people who control the environment. So it can be us also. So in current project, like I'm doing all that stuff, I am the controller here, administrator and developer. I have a team of 5 people. So this way, like we have the kind of responsibilities what we can do based on our expertise and experience, on this. So these are a few visualizations which you will see in Spotfire in our sessions. This is just a sample screenshot like what we have taken. So this is just an example where like I'm giving you data and asking you a few questions. It's very tough to understand from the data directly. But if I put this data into Spotfire, then I can easily understand all this. So this is, here you can see that from where I'm getting the highest sales, for which year, for which quarter. So you can see 2013 is giving me the highest sales, and the quarter 4 is giving me the highest sales. One thing if you notice, like my user will notice is that quarter 4 is always giving them higher sales. Quarter 4 is always the highest sales. And from which product category they are getting the highest sales? For quarter 4 it is technology, for 2012 it is office supplies. So like this you can always see that what all is going good. From where I am getting the highest sales, from which region? So that is central, and what is the product based margin, what is the sales, what is profit. So I can get all these answers very easily, which is like really tough to get in other technologies too, and quickly. Main thing here is quick turnaround of your results. Why these technologies, Spotfire and other technologies are so popular in this recent times is because the turnaround time is quite higher. Okay, earlier the same report what used to take 2 months, 3 months, to create a single report can be done in a couple of weeks or a single week or like few days itself. Because now the things is very fast. Things are very fast to work on. This is just a different view of same thing in different view. This is called theme-based visualizations. So Spotfire provides you a theme-based visualizations using which you can create multiple themes. It's just a dark theme and light theme. This is light and this is dark. But other than this, you can do a lot of other themes also. You can have your own themes. So this is theme-based visualizations. This is one of the tree map chart. This is called tree map. It shows your data using a hierarchical way. So here you can see I'm showing the sales analysis. So for central region, highest sales is coming from Illinois. and the least is coming from North Dakota. For West region, highest is coming from California and least is coming from Wyoming. So this is a way like we can drill down the data. This is the hierarchy. Right now I'm into region and hierarchy state. Second level is state. I can move to city also. So like this I can keep moving down and I can get my lower level results also. So this is what we are going to get from Spotfire. It is going to help us tremendously like getting the insights of the data, getting the trends, patterns, and using which we will help our business users to take their decisions much faster. That is our ultimate goal, to help our business people, business users to take better decisions quickly than ever. So this is all I have. I'm open for questions now. Any questions? Any questions? Doubts? Any of the things? Any questions? Any doubts? Anyone? Yeah, tell me. Is there any difference between Tableau and Spotfire? See, both are the same product. Okay, both are data visualization technologies, and the Spotfire and Tableau